Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my updated Game Week 1 draft. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below, leave a comment, what is your Game Week 1 team looking like, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, I'm keeping Mendy in goal. There's nothing really changing my mind about this player at all at the moment. I know there are cheaper options like Raya, Sanchez, Henderson, who are all 4.5 mil, and obviously that 0.5 could easily be used elsewhere. I just think that Mendy's starting fixtures are just so nice, and barring Liverpool, they don't play anybody tough really, well, Liverpool and Tottenham, until like game week 14, 15, something like that. So it is really worth just having him just to hopefully constantly just get points in the background without me having to do anything. I wouldn't have to get rid of him for ages. He can just sit at the back and get me constant points. Now, of course, Rudiger did leave Chelsea, so I'm still kind of wondering how they're going to shape up at the back, you know, whether they choose a back four or they keep a back five, and how is that also going to affect James and Chilwell going forward. So yeah, if they do start leaking in quite a few goals, I might have to rethink that and then bring in someone like Raya. I personally think that Raya is the better 4.5 mil keeper this season, so if you are going for a 4.5 mil keeper, I think Raya is the better option, but I just think for 5 mil, Mendy is just right there, got the fixtures, playing in a really good Chelsea squad. So yeah, there's nothing really changing my mind about Mendy at all. At the back, still got Trent, James, Cancelo, and Justin. Really, everything has just kind of changed up front, to be fair. My midfield and my forwards have changed quite drastically from my first draft, but my defense is still the same. I wanted a player from Liverpool's backline, Chelsea's backline, and City's backline as well. I do have double Chelsea defense. Again, that could easily change, but I can't really get rid of Reece James. So if I do change one of my double Chelsea defense, it would be Mendy to Raya, which again would give me 0.5 mil to maybe upgrade somebody like Justin as well. I'm still kind of on the fence of a couple of my players, which again is going to happen as we go through like preseason and stuff and before game week 1. So Justin is most likely going to change. I think that there's better options there. I do want Trippier. I think Trippier is a much better option than Justin. Of course, he is a bit more money, so I could go from Mendy to Raya and then Justin to Trippier, and then I think that's a really nice back line. But of course, a lot of people are going 5 at the back as well. You also have to take into account everybody else's teams to get a good rank. Because obviously, if there's a big player like, let's say you have like, don't have Cancelo or someone, and then he like does really well, everyone's got him, gets like 15 points, it's really going to hurt your rank. So you also have to think about things like that going into game week 1. But that's the back line. Again, I don't think it's going to change too much for Trent, James, and Cancelo. I think they're just kind of nailed now. I just don't think they're going anywhere. The only 2 players from that line there that could change is Justin and Mendy, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Moving into midfield though, I've got Salah, Son, Diaz, but now I've brought in the Bruno that decided to get quite a few points last season. I just think that he's playing so well and so far forward for Newcastle. Of course, Newcastle finished last season so strongly. I think if it was just if it was just based on like the 2022 months, then I think they would have finished like 3rd or something like that. So yeah, again, another reason why I'm thinking about bringing in Trippier as well. Unfortunately, he did get injured last season, but before that, he was banging in free kicks. You know, he was just playing really well in that Newcastle team. But Bruno, I think for 6 mil, he could be a steal as well. There's not a ton of good 6 mil options right now. Of course, the likes of Rafinha, I think he was maybe 7 mil or something like that, but obviously he's been pretty much confirmed to be going to Barcelona now. So yeah, I don't think he's going to be playing in the Prem this season. So yeah, I've got Bruno in there for that midfield. But yeah, Salah, I can't see me changing at all. Diaz, I really can't see me changing. Again, there's some really good 8 mil players around that price point. Saka, Mount, Foden, and then of course Luis Diaz. I just think Diaz is most likely going to be playing more than the rest of them. I think that Foden and Grealish will alternate quite a bit, especially with Sterling going Chelsea now. Also puts a lot of pressure on Grealish and Foden as well. I think Grealish will get more minutes because obviously Sterling's gone, but at the same time, is he going to be able to deal with that pressure and produce kind of like not really the numbers it was getting for Villa, but produce more than that, because you know that's what he's been brought in to do. But that is the midfield, and then up top we've got Johnson and Jesus as well. So I brought Jesus into my team. I just saw him play in that preseason game for Arsenal. I just think he's going to be really good. I think he's going to hit the ground running for this Arsenal team. and I'm excited to see what he does. Could potentially be on penalties as well. We'll have to wait and see until they get one. But yeah, I think Jesus for 8 mil, I think he's going to be a steal. I think he's going to play really, really well. He was really good for City. He obviously just didn't get the minutes. But now, I mean, I can't see him not playing every single game now for Arsenal. Again, might get a little bit of rotation because of European commitments and stuff like that. But, you know, he moved to Arsenal because he wanted to play football, so he's going to be playing football. And then Johnson as well. Again, haven't made my mind up on which Forest striker to really go with at the moment. Again, Johnson was on penalties last season, but again, if our new striker decides to take them instead, that would change. The big decision here, though, is do I drop Son for Kane? Because that would give me an extra 0.5 mil. And then I could also use that instead of getting rid of Mendy, and then I could just put Justin up to a Trippier or something like that. Or if I decide to get rid of Mendy and Justin and Son, that would give me an extra mil to mess around with at the back and get a 5.5 mil defender in, or a 4.5 mil defender on my bench. So yeah, haven't really decided that. Son obviously joint top goal scorer last season without penalties. I just think now with how strong Spurs are going to be this season, you know, they're literally strengthening everything in the squad. So I think that he's going to be a really, really nice player to own. But of course, 12 mil is so expensive. If he was 11 mil, he would just, without a doubt, definitely 1000% be in my team. But, you know, the likes of Haaland as well that a lot of people are owning, I think that might hurt me if he does do really, really well, especially against like Bournemouth, which is like game week 2. A lot of people are doing like Kane to Haaland, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think first game week, you're probably going to captain Salah. So I don't think having Kane is like a necessity. So I don't think there's anything wrong just having Haaland for both the first 2 fixtures, because do you really want to waste that first crucial transfer on an easy like transfer like that? Especially because there could be like price rises and stuff like that. You know, if one does really well and the other one doesn't do anything, there will be price rises and stuff. But yeah, the bench obviously still Forster. I've got the wrong Williams on the bench at the moment. I want Nico Williams because he's now confirmed to be going to Forest. He's going to be my 4 mil defender. But of course, FPL just hasn't updated that yet. So I will change to the right Williams when that happens. But of course, he was only just announced today, so we'll have to wait for that. I've also gone with the Pereira player as well, because I don't know if it's been confirmed to be going to Fulham yet, but he pretty much is going to be. So I think that's just, I don't think there's really any other better 4.5 mil players in midfield, to be fair, to have on your bench, you know, because he's going to start every single game. He's a good player. And they're just not really, like, the likes of like Colback and stuff as well for Forest, but I don't think Colback's really going to play now. We've just signed 2 fullbacks, and obviously they're both really exciting players, and Colback played a lot of his football at like the left wing back last season, but he's not going to get that place. So whether he moves to midfield or not, I'm not too sure, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I just think that Pereira is a really nice 4.5 mil option. Nico Williams definitely will play, by the way. A lot of people are umming and ahhing whether he's going to play. I'm like 99% sure he's going to play. We brought him to replace Jed Spence. Obviously, we had Jed Spence on loan from Middlesbrough last season, but now he's obviously gone because of loan. So we needed someone to replace him. And, you know, we've just spent 17 mil on Nico Williams. Really exciting young player. Obviously, Welsh national player as well. Going to link up with Johnson. I just don't see how he doesn't start. You know, he's such a good player to have in that role. So, yeah, his numbers were really good for Fulham last season as well. Really good for Wales. So, yeah, Nico Williams, I think, is going to be the 4 mil defender to own this season. The only problem with that is, though, is a lot of people are going 5 premium defenders at the back, which obviously there's nothing wrong with. It's just, you know, it's nice to have like those 4 mil options as well if you do want to bring those into your team. And then yeah, just Greenwood up top. That might change. We'll have to wait and see who plays and who doesn't. But that's kind of my game week 1 draft at the moment. I really like Jesus and Johnson up top. Again, if Johnson's on penalties, if Jesus is on penalties, I think it's a no-brainer. But yeah, there could definitely be some differences in defense as well. Like if I do drop Mendy for Araya, and then I can upgrade Justin, or I could upgrade Nico Williams as well and just have 2 4.5 mil players. Also could go Tomiyasu instead of Justin as well, which I might do if I do end up going with this draft, just to have that Arsenal defense as well. But again, we'll have to wait and see. I just think that Justin was really attacking, but again, that could easily be a Tomiyasu there instead, or a Ben White. It really depends who I'm kind of fancying more. But that is my game week 1 updated draft. Again, this could easily change a lot. Like I say, if I do decide to bring in Kane, you know, that'll probably mean that Johnson goes, and that'll mean that Justin goes. It'll probably mean that Mendy goes, or I might even just completely like bring in Neto instead for Son. and then just strengthen elsewhere as well, because Neto is another very, really cheap option, 5.5 mil this season, and a lot of people are bringing him in, very highly owned. I think like 20% people have brought him in, but again, we'll have to wait and see. That's going to be everything for today's video though, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do consider hitting that like button down below. Let's try and hit 50 likes. Leave a comment, what is your Game Week 1 squad looking like? Subscribe if you're brand new. It's everything from me though. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.